Okay, so we've all done this, right? You grab a piece of paper, a fold here, a quick crease there, and bam, you've got a paper airplane. But have you ever really stopped to think about what's going on when you launch that thing? Let's get into it, because that simple sheet of paper, well, it's actually a masterclass in physics.
I mean, what is it? Is it just a toy? Something you make for a minute of fun and then, it's gone? That's how we all see it, right? Just a simple little craft from when we were kids.
Well, if you're a physicist, that could not be more wrong. To them, that paper airplane is a huge, complex problem in fluid dynamics, and it tells us some incredible things about how flight even works. So let's kind of peel back the layers on this supposedly simple toy and see what the scientists are seeing.
When a physicist looks at one of these, they're not just seeing folded paper. They're seeing a 3D transient flow problem, which is really just a technical way of saying the air moving around this thing is crazy complex and changing constantly. It's also a low Reynolds number system. Don't worry, we'll get back to that. For now, all you need to know is that for our paper airplane, the air feels thick. And because of that, every single fold, every tiny change you make has this massive, outsized effect on its flight.
And this is the part that blows my mind. Your little paper airplane follows the exact same fundamental laws of physics, these things called the Navier-Stokes equations that tell a massive jumbo jet how to fly. The scale is completely different, of course, but the physics, it's identical.
So if it's the same physics, that gets us to the big question, right? How does anything fly? It's time to talk about the real secret of lift.
Now, you've probably heard the old explanation in school. The wing is curved, so the air has to travel faster over the top, which creates lower pressure, and boom, lift. It's a nice, simple story, but it's not the whole story. In fact, it's kind of misleading.
The real secret is to kind of forget about pressure for a second and think about momentum instead. Lift is really a momentum exchange problem. It's all about the wing physically pushing air around and the reaction you get from that.
Here's how it really works. The wing is tilted up just a little bit, right? As it moves forward, it is literally pushing air down. That stream of downward moving air has a name. It's called downwash. And this is where good old Newton's third law comes in. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. The wing pushes the air down, and in reaction, the air pushes the wing up. Simple as that. That's lift.
Okay, so now that we've got lift figured out, let's look at how a few simple design choices can lead to a perfect flight. It really all comes down to the way you fold it. Just think about two classic designs. You've got the dart. It's sharp, it's fast, but its flight is super short, almost like you just threw it. That's because it has high drag and not a lot of lift. Then you've got the glider. Its big wings are built for high lift and low drag, and that lets it just ride the air for this long, smooth flight. Two totally different designs, both solving the same physics problem in their own way.
So how does a plane stay stable without a pilot? It's not magic, it's just geometry. You put the center of gravity, the CG, a little in front of the center of lift, and that keeps it from flipping over. See how the wings are bent up in a V shape? That's called dihedral, and it helps the plane fix itself if it starts to roll. A gust pushes one wing down, that wing gets more lift, and it pushes itself right back up. And those little flaps you fold up at the very back, those are elevators. They control whether the nose goes up or down.
All right, for our last piece, let's dive into the invisible world that this paper airplane is flying through, the world of the air itself.
So, what's with this number, 10,000? This is the typical Reynolds number for a paper airplane. It's just a value that helps physicists get a handle on how fluids, like air, are going to behave. So, a jumbo jet is flying at a Reynolds number in the millions, where the air feels super thin. But for our little paper airplane, down around 10,000, the flow is viscous dominated. The best way to picture this is that for the plane, the air feels incredibly thick, almost like it's trying to fly through syrup. And that stickiness is the secret, you know? It's why a sharp, pointy dart can slice right through it, while the big, broad wings of a glider can just float on top of it. So what this all means is that every single fold you make, it isn't just a crease in the paper. In physics terms, you're setting a boundary condition. You're telling the air exactly how it has to flow around that wing. And that means every single flight is its own unique, fleeting experiment where all these complex forces get to play. And that just brings us to this really cool idea. We tend to think of science as something that needs supercomputers and these crazy expensive labs. But the elegant flight of a paper airplane,
It proves that the universe's most complex rules are often hiding in the simplest places. You don't always need all that gear. Sometimes, to explore the really deep principles of fluid dynamics, all you really need is a sheet of paper and maybe a little bit of curiosity.